You have heard of Dungeon Quest. You have heard of Arcane Conquest. You have heard of Fabled Legacy. But have you heard or remember of Blade Quest? I bet you haven't. Today, we're going to be looking at the forgotten dungeon game, Blade Quest. If we look at Blade Quest's current number of players, we can see as it goes a bit above 100, going and peaking around recently in the last week of going on 100 something players, like 129, and then lowest being around like 30. Now, that may seem, hey, maybe it's a failed succeeding game, it's not a very popular one. But if we go here in the daily mark, you may notice that now, that in 2021, and in 2022 early, the game was really popular, surfacing over thousands of players, having a peak in 2021 of over 5,000. That's more than people that are in Dungeon Quest right now. But after the game has gone for a while, it has gone down, 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 and down, going no longer hitting numbers over number 200. Even if we just go back right here, the highest peak it's hit is not even at 200. The highest we can find here is, for example, this one right here, which is 100 or something. So, yeah, the game has fallen off pretty much. Also, if we look at the like counter right here, you may notice that it's just stable. Like, there's like no one liking or disliking the game in hours of the game passing, or disliking the game. This seems to be like maybe a targeted dislikes to actually affect it. And then just one like just makes it go up like in a robotic. Now, another reason to show its drop from its peak is being able to see the badges from when the game's released. This game has badges basically when you played the game and completed one of the dungeons that you complete here. So if I completed Forest, I got a badge. Ghost Town, another one, another one, another one. And you got a badge for every single one. The best one I have right now is the Toy World one. But we can go all the way down to Space Lab. But let's see the amount of drop in player. Now, for the badges here, now what we can go here is we can actually scroll down here and check how many these guys are. Now, we're going to go over one by one, starting with the completed, or basically the Forest Dungeon, which is the first one. Now, these are all on easy difficulty, which is the easiest. This should take absolutely no skill at all. Now, we're going to see how much of these, these are given, how much are awarded total, and see compared to the peak. Now, right now, there is approximately, it says, around 800 or sometimes 0 rewarded daily, which is honestly pretty weird. Even if we set it here on the 3 monthly, where it says it every single day, for example, here it's 0, but here it's 1,000. That's very weird. Why is it like that? Why are there days that are absolutely empty? For example, yesterday was 800 players, but the day before, empty. Absolutely empty, which is just so awkward. But here it seems to be a little bit more consistent. Now, I'm not sure what's happening here, but it seems a little off. But anyways, right now, we have 10 million awarded total. So we're going to go with the base, even though the win rate is 20%, technically an 80% decline rate. But we're going to go with 10 million players have been able to complete this first one. Now, if we go to the second one, it is no longer 20%. It's 3.4% and 23 million, meaning it's a decrease by 80%. 80%, that's a lot. And if we look at the next one, it's 1%. And 500,000 here, which is a little bit less than an 80% decrease again. So basically the player count is going down and down and down again. And now if we look at the fourth dungeon has a 0.4% win rate and 145,000 players, which seems like a lot. But remember, we were at 10 million less than a minute ago. And now we're at 145. And if we go even one more dungeon, to the Dragon's Den, right here, we have already lost 99% of the players that went from the beginning. right here having 37,000. And right here, it's only 0.1% win rate. The amount of decrease between these are crazy. Now, if we go to the next dungeon, which will go under the 10,000s number, on here, the next dungeon, we have 7,000, which is 0.7% of players. 0.7% of players went from dungeon 1 to dungeon 5. That is crazy. 0.07. 0.07, my bad. That is really low. That is extremely low. And if we go to the next one, it's 0.018% of them. Only 2,000, not even 2,000 players have completed the carnival. This is super rare, and not even one has been handed yesterday. Like, players are not getting this carnival one. And if we look at the last one, we have 700 players who have completed it ever, meaning 0.007% of players went from the beginning to the end. That is absolutely crazy. But how does this game stand up now? Well, I'm going to be playing from a new account to see how the beginning of the game feels like. Okay, we are here on a brand new account. I just joined a random server. I did get these little crystals or rocks out of my dailies, and I figured out there's a line taking me to take the play area. I think that's what's over there. But first, I'm going to claim this XP. Does it make a difference from pressing play here to walking all the way over here? I don't think so, and it doesn't, so I don't know the point of that. But since I only have one, I'm going to create a forest. Easy. And yeah, let's go ahead and make it. So no introduction to the game, it just threw me straight in. Now, here's the neat thing. For the game, basically there is no timer. I can go ahead and play this all I want, and I can die as many times as necessary. If I just die here, if I let the bees actually kill me, which they do 5 hit, so it's actually kind of difficult to die here. But if I just die right here, I will respawn without a problem because it's not hardcore, and you lose absolutely nothing. So basically, failing these dungeons is literally impossible. So it's literally something of no skill at all. So we're going to go ahead and continue and get these seeds and everything, and see how this dungeon fares in difficulty towards other dungeon games. Another thing this game does is pretty much it offers a support area and an attack area. So instead of being both, there's basically the Q slot is used for support only, like healing spells, speed spells, like something like that, maybe lifesteal, something like that. But here, the starter spell is actually a speed boost. So that's really interesting. And this dungeon's just not difficult at all. I just run around and just wait and damage these guys overall. And unfortunately, there's nothing else, no timer, no nothing, so failing this is just impossible. So we're gonna go to the boss and talk about the difficulty of that boss compared to other things. Okay, we're here at the boss, and it's the Queen Bee. Now, I do think this boss is one of the easier bosses when it comes to the RPG game, because it has a very repetitive moveset. Now, a new player may have some struggles with it, but it's pretty much the same 3 moves. I wouldn't say it's as easy as Third Temple, but it basically does the 3 moves that it did right here, and it goes ahead and repeats them in succession. So basically all you'd have to do is just stay out of its minuscule range, and you could even use the speed boost to actually do it. Though I've been able to do it without the speed boost. And I just defeated the boss here. And you basically get a badge, the badge I showed you earlier, and it gives you weapons compared to your level, which I think is kind of weird and unique. You can actually get weapons of whatever level you are. The highest level I've seen was a level actually 213, which is actually top 9, which is actually kind of insane. And also, another thing there is the shop, where you can actually buy weapons of your level or something like that, and it costs a certain amount of gold. you can actually level it up and have a certain level and have a chance from being it from rare to epic to legendary to mythic. Now that costs gold, same with the little spells, the support ones, and the damage ones. As you can see here, here are the support ones like speed and spell, and the damage one is the crystal one. Now there's a ton of other ones more, but I don't think there's something you can get available as a new player. There are also quests, but this doesn't really do much, besides just the fact of just giving you some coins and maybe an uncommon blade of your level. Lastly, we have the upgrade area. The upgrade area, basically you go here where you can put a weapon, or you can merge, or you can enchant a weapon with these amount of crystals. Now, I don't have enough, unfortunately, since this is a new account, but you'd get these off daily, since you could collect one of these every single day, and basically get rewards like that, including free mythic weapons of your level. Well, do you now remember Blade Quest, or have you never tried it? Feel free to give it a try if you want. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this forgotten video of a forgotten Dungeon Quest game. Make sure to subscribe. It says you'll like this video right over here, and waddle out, my friends.